Has the X-Alps gone too far? The X-Alps is the world's toughest adventure race, but this year it's got the paragliding community buzzing. Severe weather, collapses, and one of the top pilots, Max Pinot, who won the prologue, has already pulled out citing mental trauma from the last edition and unsafe conditions in this one. And it makes me wonder, has the X-Alps gone too far? I'm not against competition, but maybe we need to ask, what are we really chasing? And what do we as a community actually want from this race and from paragliding itself? Over the first few days, pilots have been flying through brutal conditions and borderline unflyable skies. While some push on, others like Pinot have walked away, choosing life over ranking. Meanwhile, Sir Brand Warren posted, "I will fight to the end, but my ego is not in this. I'd rather hike when the skies are scary." That's a powerful statement because it hints at something deeper than competition. It speaks to the mindset we bring to flying and to life. Will Gadd recently commented that races like this are valuable because they push us to our limits. And I get that. We're wired for it. But are we pushing for the right reasons? Is it about personal mastery or about status? Who we cheer and how in the know we are compared to others? Or is this our modern day version of watching gladiators in the ring? Take Antoine Girard right now, out on a solo expedition traveling thousands of kilometers through Canada and the US with his glider, quietly pushing human limits. Yet most of us aren't glued to his tracker. Many of us might not even know that he's doing it. Why? Because there's no leaderboard, no spectacle. It reminds me of one of the most inspiring adventure films I've ever watched, The Rockies Traverse. Will Gadd and Gavin McClurg didn't fly for medals, they flew for the love of adventure.
This doesn't get any better than this at all. Like, light it up! We're on fire!
No prize money, no ranking, just a raw, elemental journey through one of the wildest ranges on Earth. And for me, that's what flying should ultimately be about. The X-Alps offers a rare opportunity for athletes to stretch their limits in an organized event. And with no serious accidents to date, maybe it seems justifiable. But it does make me wonder, if one of these near misses recently had gone the other way, would we be having a different conversation about this chase? In Stephen Kotler's The Rise of Superman, he talks about how elite athletes choose not victory, but flow. That dissolving of the self, the slowing of time, that psychic connection to something greater. Your inner critic shuts down, time changes its character, and in its place is presence, clarity, and bliss. This is why so many of us fly. It's why I fly. Not to beat someone else, but to disappear into that moment when nothing exists but the air, the wing, and this eternal now. The Toltecs, an ancient culture of Native Americans that studied perception and personal freedom, had a profound idea and practice called a power journey, a path to self-mastery through trials. I now see XC paragliding as a natural fit for that. Every flight is a mirror for your mind and your ego, and it holds the power to shape your personal growth and your freedom. The X-Alps, of course, can and I'm sure does serve as a profound personal journey for many that take part. But when that deep, meaningful why is replaced by external rankings, the power journey gets hijacked by the ego. The question isn't whether we should push our limits or how much risk anyone is willing to take. That's personal for anyone in what I call the elemental arts. Big wave surfing, base jumping, rock climbing, and paragliding. And those choices deserve respect. The real question is, if someone pays the ultimate price for a spectacle, was it worth it? So far, some of the scenes we've seen aren't a test of pilot limits, but of equipment limits. It would be like driving F1 cars on slicks in heavy rain with no barriers just to see who can handle it. But are those really the limits worth chasing? Are we next going to want to see athletes fly into Cunhams to see who survives? Sure, pilots have survived those before, but are we on the sidelines secretly hungry for that drama, like a crowd watching gladiators? Or can we evolve the format, make it safer while still celebrating the marvel of skill, strategy, and mental stamina these pilots endure through the Alps? A good friend of mine, Sky Linker on Instagram, suggested something interesting. What if the X-Alps had a peer-driven safety rating system? In dangerous conditions, veteran pilots in the race, or an external panel of past legends like Paul Takat, Paul Guscherbauer, or Gavin McClurg could call a code red or a level 3. If enough of them agree, the day gets neutralized. Anyone who flies after that gets penalized. It's not about softening the race. It's about protecting the power journey from becoming a game of Russian roulette. I'll be honest, I've chased numbers too. I once landed deep in the desert trying to stretch an XC to win our local league. I was thinking about the person in first place and how I had to stay up to beat them. But at the end of the flight, with massive whirlies kicking off nearby, no phone signal, and dangerously low, I landed. I ended up rescuing a goat, walking 26 Ks, and sleeping in my glider. It was epic in hindsight, one of my best adventures to date. But if something had gone wrong out there, even just a twisted ankle, no one was coming. And that flight made me question everything. Why was I pushing so low in these conditions? For what? For likes? Rankings? The approval of others? To prove something? For the fleeting feeling of winning? It was the moment I realized the real prize isn't the numbers. It's the state of mind, the flow, the freedom of adventure and growth that comes from being in the zone and pushing your own personal limits and growing through that. So here's my question for you. Are we really chasing progress or chasing status? Are we flying to touch something higher or beat someone lower? And how do we protect the purity, the spirit of this elemental art we love while still progressing it? I love the X-Alps, but has it gone too far? Or is it we as a community who need to rethink what we value in these wild, beautiful and dangerous pursuits? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd genuinely love to hear your take on this. And if the mental side of paragliding resonates with you, join my newsletter, The Way of Flow, in the description.